What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel. This is Joseph Conlon. It is Monday afternoon, October 25th, 2021, and we are nearly 24 hours removed from the Miami Dolphins' sixth consecutive loss this season. Obviously, we're going to talk about this game, but you guys see the title, and that's going to be the big discussion today. We're going to be here for quite a while, probably around 30 minutes, I'd say. So it's going to be a lot to say. Y'all going to want to buckle up and get ready because it's going to be quite a video today. And I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'm keeping my word. That when the Miami Dolphins were 1-4 and lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was expected, that if we went out to his return, if we went out and lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons, that these videos were I'm not holding back on any of my thoughts. I'm not going to be patient, and it's going to be me trashing the Miami Dolphins organization, which I don't want to do. I do not want to trash the Miami Dolphins organization, but it's just at a place right now where it's brutal to watch right now. And as a fan, this is probably the worst I've ever seen the Miami Dolphins in my entire life, and that's just the cold hard facts. 2019 was the teardown year. I don't even look at that as a rebuild season. You might look at that as a rebuild season. That's fine with you, but I look at that season as tearing everything down. We ended up going 5-11 in that season, showing some fight, pulling out some good wins towards the end of that season. But this is the worst season I've ever watched as a Dolphins fan. It's just really depressing. And you just look at the record last year, 10-6. We were one game shy of the playoffs last year. One game shy of making the playoffs. And now this year, we are 1-6. And we're sitting with the worst record in the AFC. And words can't be described right now, but we're going to get into all of it. But before we do, I have to do this. Thank you all who tuned into the AEW Dynamite vlog this past Saturday. I was at the AEW show in Orlando, Florida, on the campus of UCF. It's about 25 minutes away from where I am, but it was a great experience. Had a wonderful time, and I had a great vlog as well. If you guys already haven't checked out that vlog, be sure to go check it out. I'll put it up in the right-hand corner, right over there, and you guys can just simply click on that, and boom, it will take you right to the video. So be sure to go ahead and do that. And let me fix this camera before we get into the festivities. There we go. As you can tell, I'm not wearing any Dolphins gear today because I don't feel like repping Dolphins gear right now. And it's just really depressing. That's the one word I would describe to describe this season right now. Depressing. Absolutely depressing. And we're going to go back in time a couple years. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were at the same situation as two teams in the NFL. And those two teams, ladies and gentlemen, were the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Chargers. We were at the same situation as them. Okay? Cincinnati Bengals had a 2-14 season, got the first pick overall in the 2020 draft. The Chargers, I think, had the same record as us, 5-11, and they got the 6th pick in the NFL draft. Cincinnati Bengals took Joe Burrow first overall, which was totally expected. The Chargers took Justin Herbert at number 6, and at number 5, the Miami Dolphins took Tua Tagovailoa. Okay? And you look at the first two seasons for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's just talk about, we'll go from Bengals to Chargers and then the Dolphins. So the Cincinnati Bengals last year, first year of the rebuild. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how Joe Burrow is. Is he the face of this franchise? 9 weeks, I think, into the season, Joe Burrow tears his ACL. Joe Burrow tears his ACL, and he's out for the season. Cincinnati's stuck with Brandon Allen for the rest of the season. Cincinnati sees that they have a problem, and that can't ever happen again to Joe Burrow. That cannot ever happen to him ever again. So what did they do? They go out in the offseason. They sign offensive linemen that are going to help protect Joe Burrow. They got him a good offensive coordinator, and they reunited him with Jamar Chase. And they were together at LSU. And what are the Cincinnati Bengals doing? Well, yesterday, they absolutely beat the living shit out of the Baltimore Ravens, 41-17, and are tied for the best record in the AFC right now. The Cincinnati Bengals, in year 2 of their rebuild, are 5-2. When was the last time the Miami Dolphins beat the Baltimore Ravens? The last 3 games the Dolphins had against the Ravens were 38-6 Baltimore, 40-0 Baltimore, and 59-10 Baltimore. That's where the Cincinnati Bengals are right now. They got it right. And they built it all around Joe Burrow, and now they're one of the top teams in the AFC. Let's go to the Los Angeles Chargers. Last year, Justin Herbert did not start out as the starting quarterback. Week 2, Tyrod Taylor couldn't play that game. So who's the quarterback? Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert, in his first game ever in the NFL, took Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl reigning Kansas City Chiefs into overtime. They lost that game, but they took the Kansas City Chiefs, who were the best team in the NFL, into overtime. And from that point forward, Tyrod Taylor did not see the field the rest of the year, and Justin Herbert went on to win Rookie of the Year. He won Rookie of the Year, but they still went to go fix the problems for the offensive line for Justin Herbert. Head coach was fired. They bring a young head coach in, Brandon Staley, who knows what he's doing. They get him, Justin Herbert, a new offensive coordinator. They pay all this money to Corey Lindsey, who is the center for the Green Bay Packers, and they bring him in to be the center for the Chargers. And they know they need a left guard, so what do? First round, 13th pick, they draft Rashawn Slater, who's a left guard, and he's having a great season so far for the Chargers. You got weapons around Justin Herbert. You got a solid defense who isn't great by any means, but the Chargers got a solid defense, and if you need them for big plays, they can get you those big plays with Joey Bosa, Derwin James, just to name a few. And you look at the Chargers now, they had a bye week this week, but they are 4-2. And the Chargers are one of the top teams in the AFC right now. And then let's go to the Miami Dolphins. They draft Tua Tagovailoa. They have Tua sit for the first season. And he says, you're going to be backup for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and you're going to learn from him in your first year, which I thought was a smart move. I thought going into that season, Tua should not be the starter. He's coming off a serious hip injury in Alabama. He should not be the starter. And this is what this whole video is about Tua Tagovailoa. I just want to tell you guys that. You see that by the title. So he sits behind Fitzpatrick the first season. Fitzpatrick is playing pretty well. He got the Dolphins 3-3, and there's a game that they're blowing out the Jets, and then all of a sudden, the Dolphins put in Tua for the last drive of the game. And then the next day later, reports come out that Tua Tagovailoa is taking over as the starter for the Dolphins, and Fitzpatrick is going to be the backup. That move, looking back at it, I don't know if that was the right move, to be honest. I thought Tua should have sat the entire season and learned from Fitzpatrick, unless Fitzpatrick got injured and they needed Tua in the game. Now, Tua played okay last year. If you ask me how Tua Tagovailoa played last year, he played okay. He did not lead the Dolphins to the playoffs, but he went 6-3 last year. And part of that reason is because Tua Tagovailoa had a top 5 defense to back him up with turnovers and sacks and 3 and outs to lead to good field position. Tua Tagovailoa had a top 5 defense in the NFL last year. And fast forward to this season, they got him Jalen Waddle, his wide receiver from Alabama, and for whatever reason, they had 2 veteran offensive linemen last year, Eric Flowers and Ted Karras, and they let both of them walk because it's like, you know what? These young guys did pretty good last year. We're going to rely on the young guys again this year. So they cut all the veterans, which looking back at it, now looking at this team, outside of maybe Xavier Howard, who's probably not going to be on the team by next week, there are no leadership. There's no leadership on this team whatsoever. There are no veterans on the team whatsoever. None. Outside of Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. There's no veterans on this Dolphins team. And that's a problem because there's no leadership. You got rid of your 2 offensive linemen. Your 2 veteran offensive linemen. You let them go. You let go of Kyle Van Noy, who's a great veteran linebacker who was the teacher to Andrew Van Ginkel. And Andrew Van Ginkel had a great season last year. Andrew Van Ginkel this season without Kyle Van Noy is absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. And he's not the only one. Trust me, he's not the only one with a bad season. The Miami Dolphins linebackers this season is hot garbage. And I mean hot garbage. Jerome Baker sucks. Andrew Van Ginkel, horrendous. Elandon Roberts, horrendous. Brendan Scarlett. Why is he in the game over Jalen Phillips? You drafted Jalen Phillips 15th overall, 18th overall in the first round to be a pass rusher, to get after the quarterback. And you don't put him in there. You put Brendan Scarlett in there. Are you serious? And they let Bobby McCain go, which I'll give it to him. I like Javon Holland, and I think he's the future of this defense. He's going to be on this defense for quite a while, and the way I've seen him play this, I like Javon Holland. I really do. But looking back at this season, it's like we're 1-6. Nobody expected the Miami Dolphins to be 1-6 this season whatsoever. Going into the season, at this point, I expected us to be 5-2, 4-3 at the worst. That loss to the Raiders, I could, I guess I could live with that, even though that should have been pass interference. If we didn't have a blind referee at the end of that game, and that's a pass interference call, we win. We would have won against the Vegas Raiders if that pass interference play was called. But we had a blind referee in the end zone who clearly didn't see it, and we ended up losing the game because of that. So, I could see us we should be at least 4-3 right now at this point of the season. But we are 1-6, coming off of losses to the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons. Two horrible teams. Horrible teams. And why are we so bad this season? What is the problems with the Miami Dolphins this season? And I got 3. I've got 3 problems with the Miami Dolphins. Number 1, there is no leadership on this team whatsoever. 0. Number 2, our coaching. I don't know what happened or what changed during the offseason, but Brian Flores, you gotta go. I'm tired of I'm ready to see him go. Him and Greer, I'm ready to see go. And I don't think they're going to fire him until after the season. But how on God's green earth can you go from 5-11 to a 10-6 season, which, may I remind you, if the Dolphins had made the playoffs last year, there's no chance in hell Brian Flores was not going to win Coach of the Year. If the Dolphins were in the playoffs last year, Brian Flores was going to win the NFL Coach of the Year. So how do you go from 5-11 to 10-6 to 1-6 right now? That's unacceptable as a head coach. Unacceptable. And again, part of the reason as to why we are this is because we drafted the wrong talent. We drafted the wrong talents in the NFL draft who we thought were going to be our future. And that brings me to Tua Tagovailoa. That brings me to our quarterback, number 1, Tua Tagovailoa. You know, when the Miami Dolphins drafted Tua 5th overall in the draft, I was excited. I see his play in Alabama. That comeback that he had when they benched Jalen Hurts and they brought in Tua. They were down 20-3 against Georgia. And and Tua led that team back. And Tua won the national championship for Alabama against Georgia. I was excited when the Miami Dolphins drafted Tua Tagovailoa. And I saw a very high ceiling for Tua. And since I've watched Dolphins football as a little kid, I've seen Matt Moore, Ryan Tannehill, let's see. We had Josh Rosen. Didn't work out. I thought Josh Rosen was going to work out. That clearly didn't work. And then Fitzpatrick for veteran quarterback for a couple years. And then we have Tua. When they drafted Tua that night, I'm like, yes, our future is here. Our franchise guy is here. Tua Tagovailoa is our franchise quarterback for the next 5 to 10 years. I was excited. Very excited. And when he came in to play that first game against the Rams, I was excited. Very excited. I bought a Tua jersey before the 2020 season even started, and he was the backup for Fitzpatrick. And he had an okay season last year. That game against the Cardinals, awesome. That game against the Chargers, great. And even let me tell you my favorite game real quick of Tua so far as a Dolphin. From the first 12 games I've ever seen Tua play, you want to know what my favorite game I've ever seen Tua play was? It was Week 15 last season against the Patriots. Do you want to know why that was my favorite game last season of Tua? It's because at halftime, we were down 6-0. This was a game we really needed to stay in the playoff hunt. Okay? We're just coming off a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs as well. So Tua, we were down 6-0 at halftime. Did not have a good first half at all. We were stuck with receivers like Mac Hollins, Lynn Bowden, Albert Wilson. I don't even remember the receiving core we had. But Tua went into that locker room, fixed the problems. And what happened in the second half? The Dolphins offense scored 22 points in the second half against the Patriots defense. 15 points in that fourth quarter. He learned from his mistakes in the first half. He came out in the second half and he applied what he did wrong, and he did it correctly this time, and he led us to a 22-12 victory over the Patriots. So that's why that game last year was my favorite Tua game I've ever seen. That was his best game as a Miami Dolphin. I mean, I will sit by that for as long as he's a Dolphin. If a random Dolphin fan came up to me and said, what was your favorite game that Tua Tagovailoa played as a Miami Dolphin so far, I'm going to tell them straight to their face, Week 15, 2020 against the Patriots. And then we get to this season. And Tua gets hurt Week 2 against the Bills. He's out 3 weeks. He comes back. And he has, good games. And I say good as a compliment. But we lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons yesterday. And Tua Tagovailoa contributed into those losses. He contributed to the loss against Jacksonville, and especially, he contributed to that loss against the Atlanta Falcons yesterday. And I am getting tired of Tua already. It's only been 12 games, but that high ceiling that I saw when he got drafted on draft night in 2020, that ceiling has came down. And that high ceiling that Tua had before his career started with the Dolphins is very low. His ceiling with the Miami Dolphins is very, very low right now. He costed us that game, yes. I'm just flat out say it right now. You can say the defense. I might get hateful comments. I don't care. I'm sharing my opinion. The main reason we lost yesterday, I think, is because of the mistakes from Tua Tagovailoa. And now people are going to come to me and say, oh, well, he threw for almost 300 yards, and he threw for 4 touchdowns, man. He threw 4 touchdowns. Guess what? I don't give a rat's ass about the 4 touchdowns because we lost. If we had won that game yesterday, I would have been like, yes, Tua threw for 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. He contributed into the win. But he mostly contributed to the loss yesterday. And I'm about to tell you why. We're going to start from the beginning. First drive of the game. Tua goes down. Flawless drive. Brilliant drive. Scores a touchdown. I don't remember who. Isaiah Ford. Tua throws a touchdown pass to Isaiah Ford, and they score a touchdown. Second drive after the Falcons punt, Miami Dolphins go 3-and-out. Atlanta kicks a field goal. We're up 7-3. We go down. We get into field goal range. We kick a field goal, and it gets blocked. It's not the kicker's fault, but the blocking from the offensive line for that field goal, horrendous. And, if you want to say we lost because of that blocked field goal, you know what? You have that right. Go ahead. And I'm going to put some of the blame on that as well. I'm going to put some of the blame on that blocked field goal. Because who knows? If we make that field goal, we win the game 31-30. We win that game by 1 point if we get that field goal. But we didn't. So let's continue. Blocked field goal. Atlanta goes down, scores a touchdown. And then after that touchdown, Tua gets us down the field to the Falcons red zone. And with about 50 seconds left before halftime, it's 2nd and 7, I think. And Tua throws it to Durham Smythe, who's double covered in the end zone and gets intercepted. Tua had 2 horrible interceptions that cannot be justified. You can't justify the fact that Tua threw the ball to Durham Smythe, who was double covered in the end zone. Yet Preston Williams and Jalen Waddle were both wide open on cross routes. Now, you could have thrown it to either of them and picked up, 5 yards. You could have possibly picked up a first down as well. So, I think we could have scored I think we would have scored a touchdown that drive. Had it not been for that horrible throw by Tua in the double coverage, I think we would have scored a touchdown. And we go up 14-10 at halftime because at that point there's not enough time on the clock for the Falcons to go down and kick a field goal. So we go at halftime and we're up 14-10. But nope, that doesn't happen because Tua threw an awful pass to Durham Smythe in the double coverage and it gets intercepted. And we just lost a touchdown. That's a 10-point swing. That's a 10-point swing. It could have been 14-10 at halftime, but instead, Tua threw the pick, Atlanta caught the interception, and they get a field goal right before halftime. And I have to say, the entire game, the Atlanta Falcons, it just reminds me of the game last year against the Raiders because basically all they did the entire game was throw it up to Darren Waller. He's so big, he can just go up over the defender and catch it. And that's exactly what happened when we went up against Kyle Pitts yesterday. The entire game, they just threw it up to Kyle Pitts. He's so tall, he just goes up and catches it. Kyle Pitts had 7 catches for 163 yards yesterday. It didn't matter what we did, how we covered Kyle Pitts. We were not going to stop him. So he had a huge game yesterday for the Falcons. But second half, Falcons go down, and in 3 plays, blown coverage, and they score a touchdown. I mean, that's going to happen. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks because we were in zone in that play, and at that point, the defensive coordinator should not have called zone. Absolutely not. But, drives like that, that's going to happen. So, got to give credit to Matt Ryan on that drive. Just a beautiful throw to Russell Gage, and they go up 20-7. And then we get the ball back, and on 3rd down and 11, Tua runs. Tua, if he keeps running, has a first down. Easy, a first down. But what does Tua do? Nope, Tua has to do a juke move, try to break someone's ankles where it's not necessary at that point. And he's short. And instead of getting that 11-yard first down, he gets 9. And we have to punt. And then Atlanta punts. Miami goes down, scores a touchdown. Mike Gesicki. Great. We're down 1 score. We need the defense to get another stop. And then we get another stop. But then we can't capitalize. We have to punt the ball again. And Falcons get the ball. And the Dolphins defense catches an interception. An interception by Xavier Howard. And they have us set up beautifully. We're already in field goal range. We're at their 38-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Pressure's coming. And at that point, no one's open. If I'm Tua, I'm tucking the ball and I'm taking the sack. That would have been, at that point, that probably would have been the best case scenario. And at that point, we get a field goal. At worst, we get a field goal, okay? And instead of what happened, we would be up by a touchdown. Because if it's 14-10 at halftime, 17-14, then 21-17, and then 24-17. But Tua unnecessarily forces it. He tries to get it to Jalen Waddle. He throws it above him. And the next play after Xavier Howard catches an interception, Tua throws an interception. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm tired of this guy. He's not our guy anymore. He's not the answer. And that just sealed the deal. That interception sealed the deal that we desperately need Deshaun Watson. We need Deshaun Watson. So they score a touchdown. They're up 13. And then they get Miami gets a touchdown. Good job, Tua. Goes down, gets a touchdown for Miami. They're down 6. And then the defense comes out, forces a turnover. Matt Ryan fumbles. Beautiful punch out by Emmanuel Ogbah. Nick Needham covers. Tua throws a touchdown pass to Matt Collins for 5 yards. We're up 1. And we're up 1 with 2 minutes to go. And I was not excited. I was not excited when we scored a touchdown. Do you want to know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because I saw this finish coming from miles away. That the Atlanta Falcons were going to go down there and kick the game-winning field goal. Because the defense doesn't have it in them to stop, make a big stop, and win the game. Like last year. If this was last year's defense in this game, I'm fully confident that we would have pulled out the victory. But this year's defense, who's one of the worst defenses in the NFL, it took them 2 plays. It took the Atlanta Falcons 2 plays to get into field goal range. A 20-yard pass to Kyle Pitts, and then another pass where Matt Ryan, he just throws it up there. And like I said in the beginning, you just throw it up to Kyle Pitts, and all he's got to do, he's so tall, all he's got to do, go up and catch it. And he catches it with 2 defenders covering him. He was covered by Xavier Howard and Javon Holland. And he still goes up and catches it. And at that point, the game's over. At that point, the game's over. We could have easily won this. We could have easily won this game yesterday. Easily beaten the Atlanta Falcons. But we didn't. And the main reason I'm going to say we lost is because I'm going to say it's Tua. Tua's the main reason we lost this game. And I think, I like the kid. He's probably a really nice person. And I want him to succeed. And with our sheer luck, if Tua leaves this team, he will succeed somewhere else. I'm telling y'all right now. And we don't deserve Tua. Because we deserve Deshaun Watson. We don't deserve this as a fan base. We don't. We don't deserve to go from 10-6 to 1-6. This isn't the way the Dolphins are playing. It's insulting to the fans. It really is. So I'm tired of Tua. And if he goes, I'm okay with it. There. I'm okay if Tua goes. I will be okay. But the trade deadline is next Tuesday. And with this organization going on right now, 1-6, anything could happen. Who knows? I hate making these videos. Because last year I came on after we won games. I was happy. I was talking about possibly winning the division. It was great. And this year, it's so sad. It really is. But if there's any firings or trades or cuts, hopefully I'm home for when that happens. And I'll come on here and make a quick video about it. But besides that, I'm going to wrap it up today, guys. Thank you all for watching the video. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We lost some subscribers this week. And it's unfortunate, We're at 421 subscribers, and if y'all could do me a favor, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's how this channel gets bigger. We get bigger with more subscribers, more likes, and the channel will go up. So if you're watching a video and you're not subscribed, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. Comment down below if you're a Dolphins fan. What are your thoughts on this? Do you want to see Tua go? Do you want Deshaun Watson? Are you tired of Tua yet? Because I know I am. So, leave a comment down below. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me in the video. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well at Colin_Joseph. And again, if you have not already, be sure to go check out that AEW Dynamite vlog Saturday night from Orlando, Florida. Also the other one from Miami as well a couple weeks ago, like last Saturday. So if you had not already, be sure to go check out both of those vlogs. And if anything happens with the Miami Dolphins, and that's big, like a firing or a trade, or if we cut somebody, I will make a video about it. But if not, if nothing happens, I will see you guys Wednesday night back with the AEW Dynamite reviews on Wednesday nights with my boy, my co-host, Wesley Williams. We are back, and we're going to have a great review on Wednesday night for you guys. But you guys have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.